Okay, this is wild. After decades of silence, Woody Allen just broke his silence about one of Hollywood's most controversial marriages, and what he said will absolutely shock you. The 89-year-old director just gave the Wall Street Journal some incredibly rare insights into his marriage with Soon-Yi Previn, his ex-girlfriend's adopted daughter, and honestly, the details he revealed are absolutely insane. We're talking about a relationship that scandalized Hollywood for over 30 years, and now Allen is finally opening up about what their life is really like behind closed doors. Trust me, you're not ready for what he said. So here's what Woody Allen just admitted that has everyone talking. Are you ready for this? He basically said he never saw this marriage coming, like at all. If anyone had told me years ago that I would be married to a girl much younger than me with no background in New York or none of the similar interests growing up, and that she'd be a Korean orphan, I would have said, no chance. I'm going to be married to a New York actress, but it didn't work out that way. Can we just pause for a second? This man is 89 years old, and he's just now admitting that he's as shocked as the rest of us that this relationship happened? Like, sir, you lived it. But here's where it gets even more interesting. He described Soon-Yi as disciplined, decisive, a larger-than-life personality, and get this, a wonderful mother who apparently thinks his writing style is highfalutin. I'm sorry, but the fact that his wife of 27 years thinks his Oscar-winning writing is pretentious, that's kind of hilarious and also tells you everything about their dynamic. But let's rewind to how this whole thing started, because the timeline is absolutely bonkers and most people don't know the real tea. Picture this. It's 1980. Woody Allen meets Mia Farrow and they start this intense 12-year relationship. They never get married, but they have kids together, they adopt kids together. It's this whole blended family situation. Soon-Yi Previn comes into the picture as Mia's adopted daughter from Korea. She's just a kid when Allen enters their lives. And for years, according to Allen himself, they barely interacted. Soon-Yi has even said she initially hated him because she didn't understand why anyone would want to be with someone she saw as a nasty, mean person, referring to her adoptive mother. The plot twist? Soon-Yi claims their first real conversation happened when she broke her ankle in high school and Allen offered to drive her to school. That's when they started going to Knicks games together. But here's where the story gets absolutely wild. In 1991, when Soon-Yi is 21 and in college, things apparently turn romantic. And in January 1992, Mia Farrow discovers nude Polaroid photos of her own adopted daughter at Allen's apartment. Can you even imagine that moment? You're picking up a jacket from your boyfriend's place and you find that? The betrayal, the shock, the absolute chaos that must have followed. What happened next literally broke the internet before the internet even existed. Mia Farrow goes nuclear. She accuses Allen of grooming Soon-Yi. She accuses him of molesting their adopted daughter, Dylan. The custody battle becomes front-page news everywhere. This isn't just celebrity gossip anymore. This is a full-blown Hollywood scandal that has people taking sides. Allen goes from being America's beloved neurotic filmmaker to being a pariah practically overnight. The man who gave us Annie Hall and Manhattan suddenly can't get his movies distributed in America. But here's what's absolutely insane. Through all of this chaos, Allen and Soon-Yi stay together. Like, while the entire world is calling him a predator and her a victim, they're falling in love? In 1997, 5 years after this scandal broke, they get married in Venice, Italy. She's 27, he's 62. And everybody's like, this cannot possibly last. But here's the kicker that nobody saw coming. It's been 27 years, and they're apparently happier than ever. Allen just revealed that age was never an issue for him. He pointed out that all his previous relationships were with younger women too. His first wife was 3 years younger, his second wife was a couple years younger, even Diane Keaton was younger. But the most telling detail? He said, Soon-Yi is great to be around, and it's a treat for me, so we spend a lot of time together. That doesn't sound like someone who's trapped or coerced. That sounds like a normal marriage, which is honestly the most shocking part of this whole story. They've adopted two daughters together, Bashay, who's 26, and Manzi, who's 25. Soon-Yi apparently reads the New York Times every morning and points out articles for Alan to read. They eat every meal together and, according to previous interviews, have never spent a night apart since they got married. Like, whether you think their relationship is weird or not, you can't deny that it's stable, committed, lasting. Here's what makes this story so complicated and why people are still talking about it 30 years later. On one hand, you have this narrative that Alan groomed a vulnerable young woman. The power dynamics, the age gap, the fact that he was dating her adoptive mother, it all looks really bad from the outside. But on the other hand, you have Soon-Yi herself, who has consistently defended their relationship. She's given interviews saying Alan was never a father figure to her, that she and Mia had a terrible relationship, and that her attraction to Alan was genuine. The uncomfortable truth is that we'll probably never know the real story, because the only people who lived it are the ones telling it, and they've been telling the same story for 27 years. What we do know is that Alan, at 89, is still making movies, still married to the same woman, and apparently still as surprised as anyone that this is how his life turned out. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to think about this relationship. It's complicated, it's controversial, and it's been debated for literally decades. But what I find fascinating is that after all these years, Alan is finally talking about it openly. Whether that's because he's getting older and doesn't care what people think anymore, or because he genuinely wants people to understand their relationship, I don't know. What I do know is that this story has everything: scandal, betrayal, forbidden love, family drama, and apparently a happy ending that nobody saw coming. What do you think? Is this a love story that overcame incredible odds, or something much darker? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I know this one's going to be controversial. And if you want more deep dives into Hollywood's most shocking scandals and unexpected love stories, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, there's always more drama where this came from. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.